there, guys. Welcome back to the channel. It's so good to see all of you. I just wanted to do kind of a quick little car vlog today. Tomorrow is Friday, which is super nice. Let me get out to the road and I'll talk to you guys more. I've got this really bad habit of trying to keep secrets from you guys, you know? And I have come to grips with the fact that YouTube will probably never pay me to make videos. So ever since I've come to grips with that, because I was really trying to get to that point, really, I don't care anymore. I really don't care. Because, you know, am I jealous of other YouTubers who get to do YouTube, you know, for a living with cars and guns and stuff like that? Yeah, I am. Like, you know, and motorcycle YouTubers, which there really aren't that many money-making motorcycle YouTubers anymore. You might argue, oh, well, you know, do it with Dan and a few other people do it full-time. Not really. They don't really do motorcycle stuff full-time anymore if you go look at their new content. So, but I mean, that's okay. But to answer the question, am I jealous of some of them? Yeah, I would love to be able to make money doing something on YouTube. But at the same time, I love my job and I've got a good future in this career. I've got good benefits, insurance, all that good stuff. No, I'm not making gajillions of dollars every year, but I mean, that's okay too. I don't want to really keep secrets from you guys anymore. I just don't really care. You know, I'm not going to give away everything, but I wanted to tell you guys, like, all the stuff that I'm going to be, my goals rather for the RSX. So like what I'm planning on doing, may not necessarily be able to do it, but this is what I want to do. So what I want to do, my future plans is hopefully this year in 2020. Now keep in mind, I am having a baby girl, so she is my #1 priority right now. You know, if something doesn't get done this year, or if my plans change, that's just part of my life now. Like she's my #1 priority. The RSX it has taken a back seat before, and it's going to continue to take back seats. If I can, I would like to be able to get the K24 finished this year and into the car. So what does that entail? So I've already got the K24 engine and I've already got sleeves for it. So for me to be able to send it off to the machine shop to get the sleeves put in, I would also like to have the rods and the pistons to go with it, because the crankshaft is already in the car. I'm going to use the stock K24 crankshaft if it's in good shape. If not, then I'll get another one, but I'm trying to go stock as far as the crankshaft is concerned. I don't need like a one-piece Brian Crower billet, whatever, you know, carbon fiber, you know, flat black crankshaft. I don't need all the crazy crankshaft stuff. I'm not shooting for huge record-breaking horsepower numbers with this car, because at the end of the day, I still want to be able to daily drive it. I want to be able to take road trips in it, take it to import lines, all that good stuff, and just have a weekend drag strip kind of car, but also still take the kids to school in it if the need ever arises, if I've got another vehicle in the shop or down for whatever reason. So I'm going with stock crankshaft, and so sending it to the machine shop, I don't have to necessarily have the rods and the pistons to send it, but I would at least like to get the pistons, because when they put the sleeves in the block, I want them to be able to like mic the piston, so that way that they can perfectly bore out the sleeves to the specifications of the pistons. So that way it is just perfect. Like, that's what I want. I want perfection, or at least as close to it as I can get. The rods are probably less important, but I would just go ahead and let them have the rods and the pistons, because basically I'm gonna have them assemble the bottom end. I'm not gonna do all that at my house because I don't have the proper tools. So, you know, I could get myself a cheap torque wrench and do a lot of that stuff myself. I've done it before. I've built built engines before successfully and not really had any issues out of them, but for something like this, I want someone with more practiced hands to do it. So I'm still building it. It's still mine, and I'm buying all the parts. I'm dishing out the dough. But I just want them to assemble the short block, because they're going to have it there. They're going to be able to get the right bearings for me. And if it's there, assembling the short block is probably the quickest and easiest thing to do as far as building an engine, but it also needs to be very precise. So all they're going to do for me is get the right bearings for my application, the mains and the rod bearings, and they're going to assemble the rods to the pistons, which I can do that. I've done it before. It's not that hard. I would feel comfortable doing that. And they're going to put the sleeves in the block, and they're going to put the rods and the pistons in the block after they bore everything out, and they're going to get it in there perfectly. They're going to gap the piston rings for me, which I can't do, so they're going to be gapping the piston rings to a certain specification for me, because big shock, I'm going to boost the car. So I'm going to have them gap the piston rings, and all the stuff is going to be in the block already, so I'm just going to have them torque down the crank girdle and the rods. I'm going to have them, torque down the rod caps to the rods, so that way it's all a rotating assembly. Because why not? Why would I have them do all that stuff and then send the block back to me, take all the stuff back out, and then have me do it? I mean, why would I do that? So really all they're doing is making sure that the ring gap is perfect for my pistons, and they're making sure that the torque specifications for the rods are perfect, and the bearings. And so really the only thing that they are doing that I could technically do at my house is torque the rod bolts. So what's the point, So they're going to do that for me, and then I'm going to do everything else. Like, I'm going to put it in timing. I'm going to put the oil pump on it. I'm going to be doing all of the other stuff. They're also going to be decking the head and the block, porting and polishing the head. But after that, after all like the machine work is done, I'm going to redo the heads. I'm going to use factory Honda cams. I'm not going to go for a really weird cam setup, just going to use factory cams. I'm going to get some new valves, and I'm going to personally lap the valves to the head myself, because I know how to do that. So I'm going to be doing a lot of the work myself. It's just a couple little minor machine, well, I wouldn't say minor, but just machining things, machine shop things that they're going to be doing that I don't feel comfortable with, and I just want it to be perfect, or as close as it can be. So there's that. So once all that stuff is, once the short block and everything is assembled with the oil pump and the oil pan and all of these things are ready, then once the bottom end is done, I'm probably going to go ahead and order a new clutch as well. And so once that is finished, sitting on the engine stand, basically ready for the head to be put on, I'm going to get all the components that I need for the head, pull the head off, and then I'm going to send it to the machine shop, have them do all the work to it, and then build the head myself, and then put the head back on. So hopefully the downtime on the car running is minimal. That's my plan. I even thought about getting a separate head from another K-Series motor, as long as it's like a K20A2 or a K20Z1. I would prefer a K20Z1 because that's what came in the car originally. And so I thought about getting a separate head and having them do all the work to that, just so I have a running car for the time being. And then after the fact, I'll still technically have a full K-Series engine. So there's that, or at least most of a K-Series engine. But I decided not to do that because they're kind of expensive, and it's just an expense that I don't want to have to deal with, because I can put that money towards other things. And so basically, I want to have the car up and running as quickly as possible, not a huge amount of downtime. So but that's my plan. And then I'll drop everything back inside the car. I've already got an engine hoist and all that stuff. I got the engine stand, and I will be getting some sort of a torque wrench, but I just don't know what kind I want yet. I've looked at Snap-on stuff. I've looked at other cheaper things, ones like SK Tools. I've looked at some of their stuff, but I just want a good torque wrench for a good price. You know what I mean? I'm not looking to spend $400 on a torque wrench. I don't even want to spend $200 on a torque wrench, but honestly, if I spend anything less than that, I wouldn't feel comfortable with it. You know what I mean? I have a really hard time trusting torque wrenches. So anyway, I will get all that figured out at a different time. The only other thing that kind of freaks me out past all of this other stuff, past the point of needing a torque wrench, is torquing down the head to the block. That's the only part that I'm just kind of like, that's what I'll have to do, or I'll have to find someone with a torque wrench that you know, they trust it, I would trust it, that sort of thing. Because that's my biggest holdup, is not having a decent torque wrench. Because I've got one, but I hardly ever use it, because a lot of the stuff I do, I just go by feel. Like, I don't have to torque anything, because it doesn't have to. I mean, everything I guess has a torque spec, but it's not so important where if you get one bolt a little bit tighter than the other one, it's not going to matter all that much. I've worked on tons of cars and motorcycles and have not used a torque wrench in a long time, even with torquing wheels and things like that. I've got a good feel for things like that. Never had a problem. So, I mean, that's just where I'm at. So, anywho, but that's my plan for 2020. Have the K24 built, put in the car, and drive it naturally aspirated for a little while. And then maybe towards the end of the year, maybe early 2021, sometime next year, start preparing the car for boost, because that's where we've been working our way towards this entire time, is getting boost in the RSX. We've got K Pro, so we don't have to worry about anything like that. That is sorted. So all we got to do is finish the K24 completely, then get the boost set up just right. And we're going to be doing some upgrades here and there. I want to get like a Koyo radiator. I want to get an air and water oil separator, or whatever it's called, an AEI-CS or whatever it's called. I don't want to just get a catch can. I want to get like a water and oil separator, that sort of thing, or air, water, oil separator, something like that. I can't remember what it's called, but they're a lot better than just an oil catch can. Like, I want to do all the right things. Got to get a couple little sensors, like a 4-bar map sensor for the intake manifold. I'm probably just going to stick with the RBC for now. I just want to get everything kind of working and then slowly upgrade everything else over time, because I definitely probably will be getting a different intake manifold in the future, but I just want to make everything work on the setup that I currently have and then slowly upgrade. Because if you change everything at once and then something goes wrong, you kind of just don't know where to start, you know what I mean? So once I get the K24 working in this car and reliably drivable, then I'll feel a lot better about boosting it later. So that's my plans. And I didn't really give a lot away. You know, I'm getting like Manley rods and Wiseco pistons. I want to go with that kind of, you know, tried and true reliability on those parts and everything. Sure, there may be better stuff out there, and you can post some stuff in the comments if you have any tips and everything. But I mean, I know a lot about Hondas and stuff, so I mean, any information you may give me, I probably already know it. Not trying to sound like a know-it-all. It's just, you know, I'm a jack of all trades, but I'm pretty much an expert as far as Hondas are concerned, as you guys can tell if you go back and look at my history. So, and like I said before, I want this to be a pretty mild build, you know, not looking to make like a 1500 horsepower 4-cylinder. As far as horsepower numbers are concerned, if you guys are curious about that, I'm looking to make anywhere between, this is kind of a broad gap, but anywhere between like 600 to 800. Now, I mean, like I said, I know that's a broad gap, but like if I hit 600 horsepower and it's reliable, great. If I hit 400 horsepower and that's reliable, nah, I want to shoot a little bit higher than that. But I mean, 400 horsepower I think is going to be a good street tune for this car. And then once I hit to the drag strip, if I can get anywhere between maybe 600-700 horsepower just as like a drag strip type of tune, that'll be great. And because a lot of this stuff, you know, I gotta be able to get it to a dyno, because my the guy Jason who did my first tune, on this car that I'm still running on today, which it's great, by the way. Jason, if you ever see this video, he actually isn't in the tuning business anymore. He can still technically do it, but he sold his dyno and doesn't work at that shop anymore. He's moved on to a different career, which is kind of sad, because I mean, this may not be the reason. I'm just speculating, but what that tells me is that there is not a whole lot of money in the tuning business anymore, or at least right now, and that's really sad. But it also makes sense, because not everyone can spend a whole lot of money tuning a car like they used to. I mean, it's kind of it's not really a niche kind of hobby, but at the same time it kind of is. You really got to be about it, you know what I mean? So and also, some of you might be saying, well, if you're going to do it, you know, make as much horsepower as you can. Do it right the first time. You got to understand, I'm about to be a dad, one thing, and number two, my CBR is fast. It is super fast, and I could dump a little bit of money into that thing and make it faster than this car probably ever will be. So I'm doing it because I believe in the spirit of the car guy. I want to do it. It's something I've always wanted to do. I'm passionate about it. It's kind of like my dream. But at the same time, I'm going to be getting a different car not in like the super near future, but within the next 5 to 10 years, I'm going to be getting a different car. And if I'm still doing YouTube by then, that's fantastic. But basically, once we get the house paid on a little bit more and get a few other bills paid off, I'm going to be getting a new car, and I'm not going to disclose what that is right now. I kind of want that to be a surprise, but I will say that it's going to be insane for me anyway, at least for this channel. You know, it may not seem special to other people, but it's something that I have wanted for a very, very long time, and it's got a lot of horsepower. So you guys can speculate down in the comments all you want. A lot of you probably already know that my dream car is a 70s model Chevelle. I would love to have one of those, but it's not that. I will have a Chevelle one day, guaranteed. That is like my end-all be-all car. If I can die with a Chevelle, I will be a happy man, as far as my car enthusiast side of me goes. So that's my dream car. That's what I want. I don't want some Lamborghini or whatever. I want an old school classic muscle car. But the car that I'm going to be getting in the next few years is not going to be that. So my goal is to have my next car that I'm wanting to get by the time that I am 30, and I'm going to be turning 26 here in a couple months. So with that being said, I mean, that's a very short amount of time. I've been doing YouTube longer than that. So, you know, next few years, you guys are going to be seeing a new car on the channel, and it's probably going to be able to smoke this thing from the factory, if that tells you anything. Or maybe not from the factory, but like with light modifications. It'll just give you guys something to think about. So anyway, I think that's going to be it for this video, you guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or you just hate my guts, post it down in the comments below. I really do appreciate any and all comments, because even negative comments send traffic to the channel. So whatever you guys feel like commenting, just go right on ahead. I don't care. But I do appreciate all my loyal, I was going to say customers, all my loyal subscribers. We're just a big, happy family. I love each and every one of you guys, and even though we're small, it still warms my heart every single time I get a like or a new subscriber or a comment or whatever. I really do appreciate it. And with that being said, if you like this video and you enjoy talking about cars, fill up the comment section. Let's talk about some cars. I love doing that kind of stuff. I respond to every comment that hits the comment section. I'll talk to you about anything. I've got an opinion about every single car on planet Earth. I swear. It's all I do. I mean, it's literally all I research about, minus guns, like, because I love cars so much. So anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, consider subscribing. I really do appreciate that if you haven't already. Be sure to like the video, hit the little bell notification to stay updated with my videos. Make sure to share the video with your friends, your family, and your dog. And as always, take care. and I'll see you in the next video.